I'm learning about Bulls Bay Salt Works, and I'm talking to Teresa Gooden. She and her husband lived in almost every state of the United States and made the incredible choice of picking the best state to come to. How did you end up in South Carolina?
Well, Amanda, we were so excited about moving back to the East Coast, living closer to the Atlantic Ocean again, and also being as close to Charleston as we could.
And you thought that you would take advantage of the fact that all these wonderful restaurants in Charleston want fresh produce.
Right, and so my goal was to grow as fresh and organic produce as much as I could on this small area, growing it very intensively, selling it through Grow Food Carolina and also to a small CSA here in McClellanville.
As part of being sustainable and living off the land, your husband decided that y'all should maybe have some animals that you could process and enjoy and eat.
That's right. We did grow a few hogs. We've got chickens and also meat rabbits. But what kind of brought us into this process was growing a few hogs and deciding to host a hog roast to get our neighbors to come over and get to know our community. So we had all of these folks come over. It was a potluck dinner, and Rustin collected seawater just from down the road where we collect the water from Bulls Bay, and he brined the hog with the seawater. So he took that water that was left over, boiled it on the stove to make salt, and then seasoned the hog with the salt that he made as it was cooking.
And left it sitting on top of the smoker and had all that wonderful smoky atmosphere going up to it. And what did the salt turn into?
It turned into this beautiful caramel colored salt, and it was so intensely smoky and beautiful, and we put it on the table, and folks were just taking it by the spoonful and putting it on their plate as they went through the line to get food.
Even though you wanted to be as sustainable as possible, I think that your husband decided that there were easier ways to collect water to make salt than getting a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, that wore us out pretty quickly. Nowadays, we have large water tanks that we put on our trailer. We can move up to 1,100 gallons of water at a time. We bring it back here to our homestead where it goes into one of our 2 greenhouses, and we evaporate the water there using solar energy.
And then from there, your husband goes in and he sees certain things that happen, and that lets him know that it's time for him to collect the salt. So let's talk a little bit about the process.
Sure, there's different types of NaCl. So as soon as we can see the calcium sulfate forming, which is salt that floats on the surface of the water, it's kind of tasteless, then we know that we're going to start forming crystals soon. Once those crystals start forming, they get denser and denser and they sink to the bottom of the water, and then we can collect those crystals at any time when we're ready to use them.
And he has processes that give it different flavors, and you even have partnered with local people who have specialty products to use some of their leftover products in your processes.
That's right. Yeah, we also make a flake salt, and so the flake salt is made by taking that really hefty brine and then putting just a little bit of extra heat under it at the last minute in order to make these larger, nice flake salts that the chefs like to use as finishing salts. And then we do collaborate with a couple of other companies here in Charleston and beyond. So we work with a local hot sauce company called Red Clay Hot Sauce, and we've got their product here on the table. And that product, after they've made their hot sauce with these beautiful Fresno peppers, the pepper mash is left over, and we buy that pepper mash from them and dehydrate it and blend it with our salt to make our red mash sea salt.
Which is how I start my day whenever I have an egg, because it's so wonderful on scrambled eggs.
It's beautiful on scrambled eggs.
But then let's talk about the ones that use the bitter milk barrels.
Sure, yeah, so we have a collaboration with another local company here called Bitter Milk, and they use our salt in one of their cocktail mixes called the No. 5. It's a charred grapefruit tonic. And we also purchase the bourbon barrels that they use to create their No. 1, an old-fashioned. And we get the bourbon barrels from them, we chop them up and smoke our flake salt with them. And so that's our bourbon barrel smoked flake salt. And it's got a really nice, delicate flavor that goes great on salmon and avocados, and I just love it on a tomato sandwich.
And at my house, I use it on butter beans and green beans. I think it really adds a little something. And your husband, y'all are so sustainable that even after he uses that, he ends up with a charcoal product that he says he can save for when y'all having an oyster roast.
That's true, that's true. We try to use it all.
But you have other salts as well, so let's be sure that we mention all of them.
Oh, sure. So the oak smoked sea salt is one that we took our original Charleston sea salt and we smoked it with oak wood. And that was kind of a replica of what happened on the smoker that day with the hog. And so I just love the oak smoked sea salt on Brussels sprouts, and it goes great in chili. We also have a Carolina Margarita salt. So it doesn't just have to rim margaritas, it goes really nicely on Bloody Marys as well. You're looking for a little relaxing evening beverage with your Bulls Bay sea salt.
I think that locally people are recognizing how wonderful this salt is, and you've had some awards that have been given to you.
We sure have, yeah. The Carolina Flake Sea Salt was a winner, a runner-up in the Garden and Gun Made in the South Food Awards in 2014. Also, the Red Mash Sea Salt was recognized by Southern Living magazine, as was the Bourbon Barrel Smoked Flake.
Well, this is all very well deserved. I just think it's thrilling that a young couple has come here and found a way to use nature's gift to all of us to make it something that makes us enjoy our local food so much more. And if other people would like to know more about Bulls Bay Salt Works, tell me how they can get that information.
Sure. Well, we're sold in 26 states, and you can find a list of the stores that carry our products at our website, and that's www.bullsbaysaltworks.com.
Thank you so much for letting us come today.
You're welcome. It was our pleasure.
And I want to come back the next time there's a hog on the smoker.
Oh, please do. We'll let you know.